Hello and welcome to another Betfred Sports video right here in the Quest Media Network studio. Peter, lots to reflect on as usual. We've also got a preview of this weekend's fixtures, but first of all, let's take a look at United's FA Cup win over Aston Villa on Monday. He scraped a 1-0 victory, but to be honest, Villa should have won that one.
Well, they should. There was debatable VAR decisions. I just thought that United just looked out of sorts again.
Yeah.
You can't even blame Ronaldo because he wasn't even playing.
Yep.
Because Fernandes was. He's an horrendous dip in form for him. He just seems like he can't fit into the new system that the new coach has introduced. And Marcus Rashford, well, you do wonder what's going on in his head. I mean, he's a fantastic bloke. He's done some superb work in feeding children and everything. But on a football pitch, he just looks like he's got the weight of the world.
Yeah.
He just does not smile at all. He looks as if he's just going through the motions.
Yeah.
And they're defending him to the hilt. I just think there's something going on that we don't know about that's affected him so dramatically.
I mean, it's a far cry from when he first came on the scene. I remember when he scored on his debut, didn't he? And then he scored at City's ground. Became a real cult hero at the club, but recently he's dropped off. Like I said, then he doesn't look like he's interested, and that's the worst part of it. Yeah. When you don't look like you're interested in playing football for a living, there is a big problem.
Well, yeah, he looks like he's out of position. That's one thing. So they've got to find his rightful position. But you wonder about United players and how so many of them have gone backwards when they've joined United. I can't think of anybody in recent times, since Fergie's gone anyway, that has improved during the time at United and have gone on to do better things. Probably the last one was Ronaldo, first time round.
Yeah.
He did do better when he left United.
Well, they are like developing a reputation as a club to ruin a player's ability.
Yeah, well, they are.
Yeah.
And I don't think this is doing Ragnick much hope for getting the job because the football is dull and United will not accept that. They don't want scrapey 1-0 victories against Aston Villa. They much prefer lots of goals and drama and interesting games. I mean, even De Gea, although he did some good saves, his distribution was appalling. And that's the one thing I was thinking, that it is the actual passes, the accuracy of the passes that's so poor. Yeah. How they won that game is beyond me.
Yeah, to be fair, I thought Villa were fantastic. Yeah. And I won't put it past them next season, once he's had a full summer of new recruits at Villa Park, like Steven Gerrard. I think he'll take him to the top four, I really do.
Well, you've got to think how much City are dominating things, and Arsenal and Tottenham, and maybe even United, are also looking for those top four positions, even in Chelsea there. But these are top-notch teams, and they will surely improve as well. I think Villa have got a little bit to go. Maybe they're a top six finish, I'll give you that.
Well, speaking of top four, as you can see on the screen right now, here are the latest odds for the top four finishers this season. City, obviously, at the top end of the list. Fred's already paid out on City to win the title. They're certain to get in the top four.
Well, absolutely certain. And you can see there that the odds on for City, Chelsea, Liverpool. And then the battle is really building up for that fourth slot. United, remember, were 5-1 for the title at the beginning of the season. The title, can you believe it? They're about 100 to 1 for that now.
Yeah.
If not 150 to 1, drifting all the time. They're basically a mid-table team going through an amazing transition. And that shouldn't be the case at United with the quality of the players they've got there. If you line those players up, all 11, and put them against, say, Chelsea's and City's and Liverpool's, a few of them would be in and about on reputation in a joint team. Yeah. But on form, definitely not. I mean, City have got a fantastic game, the game of the weekend, haven't they? Yeah. City against Chelsea at the Etihad to get the Premier League in action at 12:30. Betfred have City at 7-10, so odds on to win that. Chelsea 4-1. And Raheem Sterling, who is reputed to be about to sign a new contract, which will be great for City fans because his form does dip in and out.
Yeah, it does.
But he has been playing well of late, and you do wonder about that supreme pace and the awareness. I'm not saying he scores as many as he should, but he does get in the right position to score a lot. And in that formation and tactics that City have, actually tap-ins is like the normal way that City score. They create an opening, overload one side of the pitch and score, basically. Well, Sterling's 4-1 with Betfred to score first. Phil Foden 9-2. De Bruyne is 5-1. Of the Chelsea players, predictably enough, Lukaku is 7-1 to score the opening goal with Betfred, and Mount is 9-1.
Excellent stuff. And of course, this weekend we've also got Villa taking on Manchester United. That's at Villa Park. That's a late kick-off. Peter, what are the odds for this one?
Well, I mean, this is eagerly awaited to see how United respond after the way that they just about scrambled the victory at Old Trafford in the Cup. So it's going to be interesting, this one, whether Aston Villa can do it again, and they probably will do, especially being at home. They'll be out for revenge, because they must have been really miffed about the way that game went. United, will they bring back Ronaldo for the league? Probably. He only had a slight hip injury. Anyway, Ronaldo is 3-1 to score first with Betfred. Cavani, who I don't think should be in the team at all when Ronaldo's in it, should be one or the other, he's 4-1 to score first. And then Greenwood, I still think there's loads more to come from him. He's such a supreme player. But again, playing out position, he's 11-2 to score first. Fernandes is 6-1 to get some kind of form back and get shooting boots on and score. He's 6-1 to score first. Betfred have Danny Ings 5-1 and Watkins also 5-1 to open the scoring. On the actual results, United are amazingly slight favourites, 7-5. Aston Villa 2-1, and a lot of people piling in on the draw at 5-2.
Brilliant stuff. Well, as Peter said then, Villa looking to avenge that FA Cup defeat that happened on Monday evening. So it is Villa taking on Manchester United on Saturday. That's a late kick-off. But to kick off the weekend's Premier League fixtures, it's Manchester City hosting Chelsea at the Etihad Stadium. Now, looking ahead, in a few weeks' time, it's the FA Cup fourth round. And following their victories last weekend, Man City is set to host Fulham and Manchester United will host Middlesbrough. Now, this evening, we've also got Brighton taking on Crystal Palace. And as you can see on the screen right now, here are the latest odds for that fixture. Well, moving into some political news now, Peter. Boris Johnson, the pressure's mounting. He just can't get away with it.
Well, he's apologised, and that apology, there's big debates going on now whether that was a heartfelt apology. I mean, I can't see the difference, to be honest. You apologise or you apologise. Say sorry. It's always a good tactic, that, when you're in trouble off the boss, you say, I'm sorry. And then what do you do next? Right, you've got to be more sorry. So it's always a bit of an unusual one, that. But anyway, he's apologised, so he's bought time. Then we've got this inquiry by Sue Graves, the Second Secretary to the Cabinet. So she's a massively influential civil servant. She used to be a publican, actually, in Northern Ireland. So whether she calls time on Boris, there you go. But anyway, she's going to report back to say whether was it a party or some kind of work gathering, as he's implying. Did he know what it was when he marched in there for his 25 minutes, as we now know, on May the 20th, 2020. And also, what I'm starting to think about is it as important that, and the deceit afterwards, or the bigger picture? The bigger picture is this country is doing quite well after COVID. We're bouncing out of it. Gradually, the vaccine has worked. So some Conservatives are saying he has got a grip on the bigger picture, not necessarily the parties. But anyway, that's the debate that's going on at the moment. Now, Betfred, we have massive interest in political punting. Once it's talked about in the pubs like this is, then it's a subject that people want to bet on.
Well, it's the main topic of conversation at the moment.
It is. Will he survive? He's been cut now to 2-5 so his odds on to leave in this year. So he'll be replaced as Conservative leader this year. So it's 2-5. So that's coming from evens at the weekend. So you can see that the money is indicating that he will go this year.
Right.
And then we've got 7-4 that he goes before March, and 3-1 that he goes between April and June, and 5-1 he goes between July and September. But then, if he does survive this huge crisis in the government at the moment, it's 50-1 that he stays around until the end of this Parliament, which is in 2 years' time.
Yeah.
So if he sort of rallies now, and then survives the massive criticism that he's under, then he'll be 50-1 to get to the end, and then it opens up the who's going to replace him market, and this is getting really frantic now. Some crazy bets coming in on this. So Betfred have Rishi Sunak, the Chancellor, as favourite 7-4, but Liz Truss is coming in quite strongly now. She's the Foreign Secretary. She's 7-2. And Jeremy Hunt, he's getting a lot of support as well. He's been an arch critic of the health policy because he was the health minister. He's 9-1. But the big mover is a guy called Tom Tugendhat. Now he's 16-1 now. He's an ex-territorial army officer. He made that speech in Parliament talking about how disgraceful it was, our withdrawal from Afghanistan. That's what he's sort of down for. But he's also the chairman of the Foreign Affairs Select Committee, so he's influential on the foreign stage as well. But anyway, he's come in from 24-1 to 16-1. So he is the big mover. But it'll take a lot to shift Sunak and Truss from those favourite positions as the next permanent Conservative leader.
Yeah, well, the country's in dire need of some strong leadership. As we said earlier, Boris Johnson under severe pressure at the moment, Downing Street, all sorts of chaos going on there. If you do fancy a punt on this issue, Betfred stores are now open. But of course, you can also bet online and buy their app. And of course, we've got these Premier League fixtures coming up this weekend. So just to reflect, it's Villa taking on United at Villa Park. That's the late kick-off on Saturday. But to get proceedings underway at 12:30, we've got Manchester City hosting Chelsea. Well, it's been great speaking to you, Peter, and have a good weekend.
Thank you very much.